the spoiler review for Anna and the Swallow Man. I am so sick right now.
So I've been like, don't breathe on me.
And I've just been like,
so I'm probably going to be sick very soon.
Most likely tonight.
Anyways, so Anna and the Swallow Man was very short, but I really enjoyed it.
It was really good. I really liked it.
Basically, this book takes place during the German occupation of Poland, right after they interned the academics. They just kind of took them into a meeting and was like, hey, we're shipping you to a camp now. Never seeing your home again. See you later. And Anna is left behind as her father is shipped out. Her mother has passed away. Anna also speaks like 7 languages. I can't even list them all, but she speaks a lot, and I'm just so impressed with her, and I want her skill in languaging, because how cool would that be? She's like 7 years old, I think, in the novel, and so she has no one to take care of her, and then along comes this guy, who she nicknames Swallow Man, because he won't tell her his name, and he kind of teaches her through metaphors and stories how to survive hiding during the war.
My favorite concept that he teaches her is about road speak, like this language called road, and how he builds this up by explaining to her, like, you say one thing in one language, but it's slightly different. Like, there's a slightly different meaning for it in other languages, so...
when I say, oh, you know, I really miss my wife, what I mean is, I'm lonely and I've lost most of my family, right? Something like that. And I think...
So there's this language that they refer to as road, which is basically a manipulation of saying what you need to get what you need. So like, oh, you're my, like, this is my daughter. And she's like, I'm not your daughter. And it's just like...
No, in road, you're my daughter, because this is what needs to happen. And one of my favorite quotes, I don't know the whole thing, but she's like, I don't really care about anyone else, I care about you. And she's like, but in road, you means, like, me means you, kind of thing. Like, so they're kind of like the same person. Like, they need each other and depend on each other to survive. And that one really stuck with me. But I couldn't explain it in the review because it's a very long story.
And it's a huge spoiler too, for like, because that's what ends up happening for the first 2/3 of the book. He's taking care of her, and then in the last, like, 20 pages, she has to take on that role to take care of him because of what happens.
And there's a lot that happens very simply. Like, they pick up somebody who she kind of meets in the forest, and he's Jewish, and he's drunk all the time, and he's loud, and they're very used to hiding, but she, like, insists on taking this guy with her, and, you know, teaching him how to survive, so they start surviving together. Eventually the guy leaves, and they find him dead later, and the Swallow Man just, like, he breaks down after that, which was really interesting, because for the most part, they didn't like each other. But, so the Swallow Man has this past, that's kind of hard to piece together, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I came out at the end, and I'm like, I'm not sure what happened, and we're having a conversation.
I had to text her, because other than the fact that I was extremely sick and feverish, you don't know, because they don't give you that much information, because at one point, he's a little bit out of it, and by a little bit out of it, I mean extremely out of it, and he claims that he's a boogeyman. And I'm like, is he a boogeyman? Like, is that what this is? And it talks about his hands start glowing green, because he's scaring off these kids, and I'm like, whoa, you've been traveling with the monster the entire time. Whoa, this is like such a metaphor for survival. And then you texted me, you're like, he's probably a scientist who got radiation poisoning, and I'm like, that makes way more sense.
Yeah, I don't know why I know that potassium is like a cure for, or a thing for radiation poisoning. The language that gets used and just the way she describes and understands things just draws you right in.
Yeah.
And yeah, her understanding of things is simple, and she goes through a lot to get to the end. And you feel like you've come through a journey with them.
Yeah. Even though you're reading, it's about 230 pages, and it takes place over like 4 years.
Yeah.
So you're not getting a lot, but it's the same as when you're reading the Linus Quartet, where you're skipping a lot of time, but you're hitting only the important things. And it, like, the fact that you're skipping all this time kind of adds to it too, because you're like, nothing has happened. They've just been doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over again. And what kind of existence is that?
Yeah.
So that hits you too. Like that, it's very well done and it's very well constructed.
Yeah, whoever edited it and the writer, they worked great, I think, because it's only what you needed and it's very polished. Still have no idea what exactly happened at the end of this book, because she goes off on a boat and he's like gets in touch with his old contacts who are obviously dealing with making bombs, like atom bombs. And she goes off to an island, and at one point I thought he was telling her to slit the throat of the guy who was driving the boat, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
I thought she was going to Japan. It said island, and I thought Japan. Because, like, feverish brain, World War II, islands. That's like...
That's all you got.
I mean, it would make more sense if she was going to, like, America or Canada, but...
Or just away, I don't know.
Ireland, it's an island.
And then I was like, well, he's going back to his old job where he's making atom bombs. And I'm like, but who's he making these for? Because I don't think he's connected to the States. And as far as I knew, I thought he was German. But the way he describes the Germans, it was like, So I'm like, I don't know what happened.
And what's with the birds?
That was kind of never explained, was it?
Just like, he can call birds.
And he does it like twice?
It's like this book is a fever dream. Yeah, you're reading a fairy tale, and it messes with you in a good way, you know, like...
It's very pretty.
It's very, very pretty, and very well thought out, and it just frustrates me because it's so good, you know, like...
I think it could be studied in grade school. It's very easy to read, but there's so much under the surface that you could spend hours just picking out an essay.
And I mean, just because it's easy to read doesn't mean that it isn't enjoyable for, like... Everyone. Like, this... I wouldn't really give this book, like, an age. Like, I wouldn't market it to a specific age. Like, on the back it says, you know, like, 9 to 12 age group. But you could put it in fiction and it would be cool. You could, like... Yeah. There's no real, like, audience.
Because she's seeing the world through a child's eyes, but... the things she's describing and looking at are very adult, and you can also see the Swallow Man's perspective through her own vision.
And I mean, there are so many books in the fiction section where you're getting perspective from a child, like Room or Book of Lost Things. Like, it was good, and I really liked it. And I haven't read The Book Thief.
I just made myself read it in, like, October. And, yeah. This was... I don't know. The Book Thief was good, but I almost like this one a little better. I don't really have a reason, just because maybe this one was shorter and it was more to the point. But The Book Thief was really good.
So, that was our spoiler-filled review for Anna and the Swallow Man. Not very many spoilers, because it's kind of hard to spoil a fairy tale. You know, like...
Very hard.
It's very hard. But such a melodious plot.
Yeah.
But we really liked it!
Yeah, and if you have a chance to pick this book up, go for it. You won't be sorry. So, see you guys later.